Hi guys, it's Erin. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to go over our cash envelopes for last week. All right, so these envelopes are going to apply to last payday. We're going to do a little bit of recap. So of course, I have my Happy Planner Notes notebook here, which I am totally loving still. I was a little bit, I guess, kind of bored with my layouts and the way I'm doing things in here, but it's still working for me, so that's really all I can ask for. So I'm going to stick with this notebook for a while. So here is the last week's cash envelope page, and I want to go over how we did, exactly what we spent and what we had left. So I just got done filming our weekly budget, which was the paycheck for April 26th, went through all the numbers, all the explanation of what we're doing. So I hope that everything made sense and that I'm presenting it in a cohesive way for everyone. But I wanted to go over our cash envelopes from last week because I too was a little bit curious. Now I had been monitoring, kind of what we're spending and writing things down, but I was kind of curious how everything worked out because I wanted to talk to you guys about something else. And I'm not sure if I'm going to get into it very much in this video or if I'm going to do a separate video, but I kind of wanted to know what your thoughts were about the cash envelope system versus just an allowance, a personal allowance system, because I can't remember who made the comment that once they use something, once they deplete the money from one of their cash envelopes, if they need more, they just take it from another envelope. Makes total sense because this money is already allocated. It's in your hand. You don't have to go to the bank and take out more. You don't have to adjust your budget figures. This money has been allocated to go in envelopes. It's cash in hand. So when you're thinking about things in those terms, I'm just curious how many people believe that this system with these, very specific categories works as opposed to taking all this lump sum, all the cash that was in here, and just putting it in one envelope and kind of looking at it as your personal allowance. And I think that's interesting because there are probably two schools of thought on that. If you're very disciplined and you know that once that money is gone and you're not going to overspend, for instance, if you need groceries, you're not going to spend it all on clothing. Just because you may have $300 in these envelopes total doesn't mean that you can, go to Target and spend $250 of it at a crack just because it's here. You still need your allocations, which I think is important. And that's why I'm going to stick with this for a while because I like seeing exactly what I'm pulling from every category. But at the same time, I completely see the logic behind, hey, if I ran out of money for groceries, yeah, I'm going to take it out of dining out or my miscellaneous or whatever. And that makes a lot of sense to me. And it's just interesting. It's just an interesting point of thought. And it may be something that I talk about more in a future video, but I just wanted to mention that because I thought that was a really, really great comment. And it just made me pause and think about that. So anyway, last week, these were the categories that I created my envelopes for. And if you're curious, I made my envelopes myself. I know they're super basic. They're literally just laminated on 3 sides and they have the opening at the top. So I don't have anything very fancy to them. The paper is from the LOL pack from Hobby Lobby. So I really enjoy the patterns. But again, as far as, anything out of the ordinary about my envelopes, they are super basic, but they do the trick. So I'm happy with that and I'm okay. So last week I budgeted $40 for groceries, $50 for dining out. I have 2 envelopes, miscellaneous 1 and miscellaneous 2. One is for me and one is for my husband at $25 each, which was a total of $50. For home improvement, we had some things going on, so I budgeted $50. For our dogs, I budgeted $25 and that includes like their food and anything extra, that we may have to pick up for them, whether it's treats or some ear cleaner, whatever it could be. So for clothing, there were 2 things that I knew I wanted to get at Kohl's last week, so I budgeted myself $50. And for health, I budgeted $40 for doctor's payments, over-the-counter medication, prescriptions, whatever could come up. So that brought a total to $305. So let's go through them and figure out what we actually spent. So for groceries, again, we had $50. And let's see. Now I had this little slip of paper in each one of these, and it was kind of like the little scrap that went with the envelope, and I wanted to use that as a little card to write down when I was spending money and just the total. And so on April 20th, it looks like I spent $17.41, and on April 24th, $19.86. So I got $2 in the envelope. So let's see exactly what that brings us to. So $17.41 plus $19.86 is $37.27. So I'm gonna write that down. $37.27 plus 2. Now you're probably wondering, no, that's actually $2 and change. But for any change, since this envelope is so basic and so thin, and I didn't want, you know, change falling out of here and these to like rip or anything like that, I put the change in a change purse, and when I had excess change, I actually put that in my change jar at home. So it's like I didn't even count it, and I thought that was also a nice way to kind of start saving coins again. And so I had $2 left in here. So I'm going to write that down. Oh, sorry. And I don't know, I'm not going to keep this card. I'm just doing it just for the sake of checks and balances, but I had $2, and actually I'm quite surprised about that, but I think I explained to you guys in my video last week, we really didn't need a whole lot, and so that is that. And we didn't even have a gas envelope last week because we had just got gas, so that's something that I do need to include this week. So dining out, we have nothing. Okay, so I did know that. I'm acting like I'm surprised, but I did remember that. So $22.14 plus $26.99 was $49.13. All right, so we had $50. And let me know if you think this is a good way to do this, because I used to do cash envelopes, but not in videos, and so I just wanted to you know, see if you guys kind of like this system, and if this was, you know, kind of a way to do it that makes sense. So let's move on to miscellaneous number 1. All right, let's see what Erin spent. So on April 22nd, I spent $4.60. April 24th, I spent $10.69, and April 25th, $6.94. So let's do the math. $4.60 plus $10.69 plus $6.94 equals $22.23. So I had $25, and I spent $22.23. And so I should have, yep, $2 in here. So I'm going to write down $2 here and $2 over here. Be honest with you, I'm surprised I had anything left. All right, now here is the funny one. This is my husband's cash envelope, and as you can see, it says miscellaneous. This was our second miscellaneous. We each had one of our own. I started him with $25, and he wrote down nothing. And I knew he would do that, and there is nothing in here. So he just got $25. He's not going to play along. He's not going to write this stuff down. And not that I need him to. I truly don't. I mean, this was just for the sake of me being organized and, you know, kind of from my system. But I knew that he would take this from me. He would take the $25 out, and he'd be like, thanks. And that's exactly what happened. So I am going to write down, I'm so sorry, I didn't leave enough space, 25 out of 25, and that was 0. So I had both of those in one space. So anyway, I knew he was going to do that, and that's no big deal. He's going to do the same thing this week. So for home improvements, he was pretty good. He gave me some receipts, so he took the money out, and then I wrote down what was spent. So the first trip was $18.06 plus $26.73 equals $44.79. And then without the change, that left $5. So that was not too bad. So we have $5 to add to our pile. I should have my running pile up here. So that was $50. And we spent $44.79. This is really messy, but this is filming, so that's okay. All right, now for our dogs, nope, that was Home Improvement. Okay, so for our dogs, let's see. We had allocated $25. Let's see what happens here. Oh, we have quite a bit. All right, so we spent $16.88. So 25 minus $16.88 is $8.12. So put that over there. Write that down there, and $8. So we have $8 here. Pretty cool. All right. So next was clothing, and I got 2 tops, which I clearly remember. And one was, I think, like $29.99. I think the other one was $12.99 or something. I don't know. Don't quote me. But anyway, so I started off with $50 minus $45.98, $402. Oops. I didn't even write remaining here. So that means we had a remaining, or I had a remaining $4, 2 cents. So I had 50. And I spent $45.98, and without the change, $4. Perfect. Put that in the little pile. And for health, I spent nothing. All right, so I have $40. So I had a doctor's appointment that I ended up canceling. So 40, spent nothing, and I have $40. All right, so let's count all this up. Let's add right here. We had 2 plus 2 plus 5 plus 8 plus 4 plus 40. $61. So let's see if the math adds up. So 20, 40, oops, 45, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, and 61. That is, in my opinion, a whole heck of a lot of money to end up with at the end of a cash envelope weave. I hadn't had all this left over. I still would have had $21, which I think is a great amount of money to end up with. So I have this, and this can go back in our bank account. So that's it. I'm going to write down how much we had left over. $61, which is huge. And I'm really, really proud of what we did this week, because I wasn't sure, you know, when you just get back into a system and you start, you know, anything over again that maybe you did before, or, you know, you're just not used to, you're just not in the habit. I think that it's awesome when it works out, and I'm so happy with this. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you are interested in how we're going to stuff our envelopes for this week, just stay tuned for my next video. Take care.